main part of this version control tool is to develop the code. Develop the code means, for example, you are developing a web application or a software or a mobile application, any application or any product you are developing in a programmatical way. So we call that as code. Some people some people call it a source code, developer code, whatever the name they give. It's basically raw source code which is developed for the respective application. Since the previous session, we have seen how developers do commit and push their changes to the Git, and how do they follow the branching strategy. And if you come out of that, the next part is building the developer code. What does that means? For example, if it is Java, Java type of development, or PHP, or Python, or any other any technology like Node.js or .NET. So based on that technology, the respective build will go. So what is building means? Integrating the code. So what are the changes you have done? What are the code you have developed to make it as a single package, so that it will be easy to operate, easy to maintenance, and the code cannot be seen by other people. So if it is packaged like a jar or var or any other exe, so it cannot be human readable format. So some technologies need compiling, some technologies need compile and test. So depend on the technology, we choose the build section. So build section mainly use it to integrate the developer code, so that the developer package can be used for deployment. So in the build section, the output will be the packages. Input will be developer source code. So output means from the build section, whatever the output we get, that that can be called as artifacts also. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. So see, build tools main purpose is to integrate your developer code and then create easily accessible single package. So these are also can be called as artifacts and build artifacts. For example, exe files, jar files, var files. And if you say, there are a couple of screenshot I have placed here. Maven is a build tool, npm is a build tool, and Microsoft .NET. For .NET technology also we use .NET build, and for Java code we use Apache Ant. That is also one of the build tool. And Gradle also is one of the build tool. And Python. In Python, we don't require anything to be built, because if we compile the program, that is fair enough, because compiled code is enough to run the program. We don't need to do any packaging work there. So depends on the technology, the build definition might change, but the main meaning of build is to integrate the code changes and create a single accessible package. That package also can be called as artifact or build artifact. So once we do the things practically in command line, you will come to know what I'm exactly talking about. So let's take an example of Java. So you have developed some Java files, let's assume that. And when you compile those Java files, the next stage would be doing the unit test. After that, the build process will start. So each stage will follow like this. Let's take input as .java. Once you compile, it will become .class. Once you do some of the archive method like build, it becomes jar files. And if you compress with UI files, user interface files, it will become var. So var means it's a combination of jar files, WUI files, and some of the DB configs. Jar means Java archive. That means combination of all Java compiled files is called a jar. combination of jar, web UI, and dbconf is called var. So this is a basic build structure when it comes to Java. In the .NET, we take the source code and we'll go for .NET build. And in the case of Python, we simply take the some of the basic programs, and using Python, we just compile it. And in the NPM also, we go for NPM build. In the case of Conan it will be used for C++. There also we'll do Conan build. So for each and every technology, there will be developers. They will develop the source code. Source code means whatever the code which you locally develop for your application. And the respective technology will have respective tool set to build. So from the build section, we will get some of the artifacts. Those are called as build output packages. Once we get the packages, we will deploy those packages into the deployment servers. So in our Java project, we use build tool called Maven. Maven is a build tool which was developed by Apache company. And prior to Maven, there is a prior to Maven, there was one tool called Apache Ant. So if you see the first picture, Maven is the one. This is the tool I was talking about, and there is one Apache Ant is photo is there. So this is the first tool Apache company was developed to overcome some of the disadvantages in Apache Ant. They came up with Apache Maven, and some of the disadvantages of Maven can be overcome with Apache Gradle. These three tools are build tools, mostly used for Java type of technology. And among these three, Maven is most useful one. Gradle and Apache Ant somewhat less uses. So here in the Maven build tool section, there are two important things are there. One is pom.xml and another one is settings.xml. Pom.xml is project object model, and settings.xml configuration of remote repos. These are the two important files which are related to Maven build tool. So I will pause here and see if you have any questions.
These two files, where are they used? Like the P1 XML file.
Yeah. So from Java to .class, from .class to .jar, from .jar to .var. This is the sequence of doing the build. In this, to convert and to follow this sequence, we need one build tool. So we use that Maven. Maven uses pom.xml, settings.xml files. We will see practically how these two files can be used in the coming slides. So, but these are the two mandatory files which are used by Maven. So, this is the standard procedure how we can use Maven. Let's assume that you already developed some code, and we can do build using Maven. What if you don't have any code? How you can do coding? If you don't know how to develop in Java, if you don't know how to write a program in Java, how will you do coding? So for such cases, Maven providing you some of the default directory structure. In that it will default have very basic few lines of Java code. You can directly pick that code and consider yourself you have developed the code and go for Maven. And Maven will be do that build and creates the respective artifact. So whenever I say artifact, that means it is output of the build section. So we will get artifact. Once you get the artifact, you can directly use that artifact and deploy into the respective deployment servers. So deployment server means it is a server where it can run your application. For example, let's assume you have developed Paytm website. So development is not enough. We have to build it and then we have to run it and make it available for the larger audience. Till yesterday's session, we just developed the application. Today, we are going to build it. And tomorrow, we are going to deploy and make it available for all the users. So I'm making things in a very simplistic way so that you can understand the basic layout. If you get the basic layout, then whatever the additional enhancements I do, you will easily understand the flow. Yeah. So in the Google, if you type Maven in 5 minutes, you will get one first link. And if you open that, the guided procedure will tell you how to create a Maven project. So this is the command for that. So what does that mean? If you already developed a code, you don't need to go for it. But if you don't have any code, Maven can provide you very basic few lines of code. So to achieve that, you can simply copy paste the second bullet point command. It starts with MVN. MVN is the shortcut for Maven. From MVN to till interactive mode is called false. Till that you copy and run in your local command prompt or any git bash. Once you run that, it will take some time to create a local folder called my app. Once build is successful, it will show as build successful. Once that is completed, you can navigate to that folder and run the Maven package. Once you run the Maven package, under the target folder, it will create one of the jar file. So by default, this guy will providing some of the Java code. Once you do packaging, it will create output as .jar file. So when you run that jar file, you will get output hello world. This is the very simplistic way of running the Maven build tool. I will show you now how it can be done. So Maven in 5 minutes. Let's type in Maven 5 minutes in Google. And if you open the first link, you will get this command, copy, and in any open command prompt in any location of your system and run that command. So it will take some time to create that folder. I think it might take 1 or 2 minutes. See, as of now, we don't have anything in this folder, but Maven by default will create some default directory structure. It's not created yet. Yeah, if you see, build is success. So this is the Maven terminology. Build is success means it has done it, creation of this folder. Let's see what it has. It has one pom.xml. This is the pom.xml I was talking about. This pom.xml will have some XML document and it will refer the source code and the respective plugins and respective dependencies. We'll come to this later. This is a mandatory file for Maven. And SRC means this is a source code folder where developers do their development. If you open SRC, main is the folder where actual code is present. Test is the place where they will write their unit test cases or integration test cases. Let's open the main. And since this is Java project, Java folder exists. So let's see what is the basic code which Maven provided to us. This is Java code, basic hello world code it has provided to us. So I'm minimizing this thing. Now we'll go to the pom.xml. So this is the pom.xml. What it does is it will understand the structure, folder structure of this SRC, what it has main and test, and correspondingly it does the build. For example, if you this group GAV is the output artifact name. The naming this section is called naming convention. Based on this name, the naming convention only, it will create the output folder, output file, either jar or var or any other package. This name structure it will follow. If you leave that apart, Maven needs some of the plugins. These plugins can be downloaded dynamically while running the program, while running the build basically. So that is why the dependencies section mentioned here. So it wanted to do unit testing. That is why it is downloading the plugin JUnit 4.11. The scope is related to test. This is the build section. And one thing, you don't need to buy hard anything in this pom.xml. Just to have an idea, I'm explaining this thing. You don't need to worry about any of the content here. Okay. So these are the Maven compiler properties. These are the required dependency plugin. And this is Maven build section. So here also it requires some of the plugins, and all of the plugins by default it came. We didn't write any code here because Maven itself provided some of the basic code. So people who are Java developer, and if they wanted to do development from scratch, this is the first starting point. They will go for Maven 5 minutes and take this command and run in the same way how we run. And from that, they start their development. This is the command to create a first project. From that, they will start. As I explained you, this is the main Java code and this is the test code. So as of now, we have seen pom.xml and how it created the folder structure. And we also talk about settings.xml file in the PPT presentation, but we didn't see that settings.xml as of now, but it is being used in Maven. So wherever you have installed Apache Maven, I guess I placed it here. So in that Apache Maven, even if you install Apache Maven, if you go to conf folder, settings.xml file is the will be presented. So in the settings.xml, we will define, sometimes we require some of the proxy related stuff. That is why we place some of the configuration settings.xml. But as of now, we don't need to worry about this thing. But keep in mind that settings.xml also required in some cases. Yeah. So now, let's see this thing. I have one of the jar file. This is code I developed some time back. I also took the basic code from Maven, and on top of that, I did little modifications. So this is the target folder. It's not required because target folder will be created once we do Maven build. So now I will do Maven build. So wherever you want command prompt, you can open like this. And since I already have pom.xml with me, and I already have SRC, this is the source code. So these are the two mandatory requirements to do Maven build. So MVN package. Package means it will create an artifact. Now we started to do Maven build. Let's see what it will create. Under the target, see earlier we deleted the target folder. Now it create the target and creating some other content. You see here, build is successful. Okay, that means it created the respective war file in the target folder location. This is the target folder, and this is the file which I intended to create. So for any Java application, if you want to deploy and run the application, it must be in the var format. Then only the respective deployment server can host this thing. You can even locally run this Java var file. I think yeah, we can run that locally, but some command is required. This var file can be deployed to deployment server. Let me show you how that looks like once we deploy this artifact. To host any Java application, there are many tools available in the market. So one of the tool that is easily accessible and can be maintained easily is Apache Tomcat. So this Tomcat is a server developed by same company called Apache. Yeah. So as of now, what we have done in the command prompt, we just did Maven package and created .var file. So now we have done the Maven build and we have var file. So now we will see the var file will be deployed into the Tomcat. So this Tomcat server is a web server, can be run Java applications. You can choose the file. Target folder, and you can select this var file and click on deploy. The message OK represents the var file is loaded properly, and you can see the var file is listed here. Opening this var file on the new page, you see it is showing some of the basic content which I have written. So today what I have explained is, till yesterday we have developed some code, and we that code we have placed into the GitHub. And today, using Maven tool, we build one of the artifact and we deployed that artifact into Tomcat server. So this is the basic flow of DevOps: code, build, and deploy. That's why I have placed this in the second slide: code, build, deploy. If you understand the flow of code, build, deploy, these three, then you will be able to understand the basic flow of DevOps. And on top of that, whatever the enhancements we will make or other people will make, you will be easily able to understand. So if you see here, we have deployed that war file into Tomcat and it is running here. In the same way, we can run this as a production application. For example, let's consider Paytm. We have developed Paytm website and developed some artifacts and deployed to the Tomcat. Now, if you give this URL to the general public, they will be able to access this website. So this is the basic flow of DevOps. I will pause here and see if you have any questions.